Hello everyone. Thank you so much for being here again today for another reading. Cam and I are extremely excited to be making videos for you guys and to be working with each other again. So we appreciate you being here on this journey with us and making it happen. Hope you guys are having a good week, as always. I've got the Dark Woods cards again. I love these. They remind me a little bit of Dante's Inferno. And the part where Dante gets lost in the dark wood. I've not read all of Dante's Inferno. I only know it because it was part of my twin flame experience. It's something that my twin flame actually mentioned to me. And so it's got significance to me. And that's part of the reason why I love this deck. Someday I'll have to go in a video a little bit more in depth on why that has such significance to me. But this journey is so interesting that we're all on. The spiritual journey, the spiritual path that we've all kind of found ourselves on. What we didn't realize is that we've always been on it. Maybe we weren't completely awake and in sync with the fact that we are souls on a journey. But meeting our twin flame most certainly wakes us up to that fact very abruptly. It's almost like the dream goes from this beautiful, pleasant dream to this nightmare, right? And there is beauty in that, believe it or not. The things that you experience early on with your twin flame, the bubble love phase, and then the whole, running and dark night of the soul, it's there to cause you to see the duality that the mind can create with whatever perceptions the mind has of what's going on in your life. And it really, really just goes crazy with the twin flame and wakes us up to the fact that there is this mind that's just always going and going and going in the background, telling us stories about what is happening in the world. And one of the cool things that I think eventually happens, and what this leads us to, is this realization that there is a big difference between our perception of reality and reality. Yet the paradox is our perception of reality is reality. Let's kind of dig into that just a little bit here while I lay these cards out. So our perception, the big difference between perception and reality is, this candle is actually burning. This candle's burning. I've got the incense going. I've got these cards out here. But, and that's reality. Like, no one can deny that they're there. I mean, we can get into philosophical conversations about, what matter is and what the cards are and stuff. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I mean is that the facts are that these things are here on the table. But the other reality is that, and the one that we pay the most attention to, is what we think about these cards that are here on the table. Like, we've got all these different cards here and candles burning and incense, and I can smell it, and I do like the smell. But what if I didn't like the smell? That would be a different perception, right? What if I didn't like the candles? That's a perception, right? Now I would look at that as reality. Like, the reality is I don't like the smell of the incense, or I do like the smell of the incense. But is there a right or a wrong? And is it real or not real? It's the perception, right? And so that's why when you're watching all of these readings, especially these collective readings that are for multiple people, not individualized for one person, that's why it can resonate with so many different people, because all of these cards and the words even that I'm speaking are open to interpretation and subjective to the person that's listening to it. That's the reality that I want you to really wake up to and pay attention to, because that's the reality that causes our emotions, our attachments, our feelings of happiness, joy, and sadness. Is the story that our mind tells us and the perception of what's happening. So when it comes to your twin flame, this is significant and important. And this is what the twin flame comes into our life to wake us up to, is that the mind and our perceptions that most of them have been programmed into our mind throughout our lives, comes up with stories about the twin flame and what's going on and why they're doing what they're doing, and how we feel when they're running from us, and that we think that they're running, but they don't even notice that they're running, and we have this perception, and then all of a sudden they have a different perception, and we get so confused. Well, how could they see things differently than me? All of that is stuff that is just being made up in your mind. It's really an illusion, and it is something that can be transmuted and changed. And that is where I'm going to end, and we're going to get into this reading here. So at the bottom of the deck today we have, is this focusing properly? We have 8 of Wands at the bottom of the deck today. 8 of Wands. All right, let's find out what is going on with Mr. Masculine today. So it looks like with 8 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, the overall feeling for this reading is that things are picking up with Divine Masculine. Things are changing rapidly. They're getting clarity and perspective. They're kind of knowing what to do. Changes might be taking place, and it's all very fast-paced. So it's almost like a fast-forward button has been hit in Divine Masculine's life. And there's no more serious stagnation happening. In the past, Divine Masculine has definitely felt like thrown in the towel. We talked about this in the last reading, and it's coming up again. They felt before in the past like things just weren't really going the way that they wanted. They were unhappy with certain circumstances in their life, and I guess they've been beating and beating and beating at the same things, and they feel like a salmon swimming upstream. They're just tired of the grind, and sometimes they just feel like they want to be done, whether it's work-related or relationships, or all of the above, family life, cleaning the house, taking care of the yard work. It's like non-stop daily grind, and Divine Masculine is exhausted. In Divine Masculine's karmic situation, it looks like they had a pretty interesting relationship going with someone, but that didn't end up turning out to really be what they wanted. The person that they were with was kind of a bit of an abuser, maybe a little bit stalkerish, and Divine Masculine, even though at first it seemed like it was a lot of fun and really exciting and kind of a whirlwind thing, it did not maintain that, and eventually over time it became something that was very toxic for Divine Masculine. So Divine Masculine has had to recover from a somewhat traumatic interaction with another person. It seems like that was probably some kind of a romantic karmic relationship for Divine Masculine. In recent past towards you, Divine Feminine, we got this card a couple readings ago, and it was really a significant card. It was about you being in your center and really being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you kind of reach this place in your life where you realize that you are the creator of your own experience and your own destiny, and you're not subject to like fate. You can transmute your reality and your experiences through transmuting your perception of reality, right? Kind of like what we talked about at the very beginning. So it's interesting that this card is coming up again in the way that Divine Masculine is looking towards you. There's typically a delay between your ascension experience and Divine Masculine's ascension experience. And so there's definitely a mirroring that goes on between the two. As far as the 3D experiences, it's going to look very, very different. But if you really look closely, you can see that there's these really interesting parallels. And so Divine Masculine is seeing you right now as that strength, that like Divine Masculine looks up to you because of the experiences that they have had from you in recent past. So they see what's going on with you. They see that you're getting stronger and more confident, and that you know your value and your worth, and they're really admiring that. And so whatever has happened between the two of you, Divine Masculine is noticing. Divine Masculine has stepped back a little bit to heal and recover from whatever it is that happened over here. And they're like I said, feeling like quick change needs to happen and is happening in their life because of this. But they were at a place where they were like, okay, I'm done. I need to take a break. I need to do things differently. I want to throw in the towel. It's overwhelming. Well, that's what they're doing now. And a big part of the reason why they are taking this break and just focusing on themselves is sort of what they've seen with you. And they're kind of, I guess, in a weird kind of a way, envious of you a little bit, Divine Feminine. They see that you're feeling strong and confident, relaxed and at peace, and they want the same for themselves. And so they're taking some time to really look at themselves and make sure that they're making decisions that are in alignment with where they really want to go, what their trajectory is. And I think there's a part of Divine Masculine that's still figuring out what that actually is. So in the karmic situation, Divine Masculine is seeing that having gotten away from that karmic situation, taking some time to really focus in on themselves and make sure that they're making these good decisions. They are seeing that the rewards are starting to pay off. Like the rewards are there, and they're feeling much, much better. But they're slipping back into some old habits at the same time. So they're seeing the benefits of the great choices that they've started to make along the way. Again, a lot of that has to do with you, Divine Feminine, but then they're also slipping back into some old habits, which is fine, I guess, because I think that makes it so that Divine Masculine can see what they don't want, or to see that some of these unhealthy patterns are still sort of lurking around and lingering around, affecting them. But they're getting attached to some of these things, maybe getting a little too comfortable or holding on a little too tightly. And what that could end up eventually causing is Divine Masculine going back into a feeling of not being in control again. Sometimes when we hold on so hard to something, we feel like we need it so much, we try to control it so much that we end up creating exactly what we don't want, which is loss in our life. And I think that that's one of the things that Divine Masculine has struggled with. Divine Masculine towards you right now, you might hear from him if you haven't very recently already heard from him. You might hear from him very, very soon, because Divine Masculine really, through the mirror of kind of seeing some of himself and his own traits by watching you, sees that life is good when you're around, sees that there is a balance, a feeling of being understood, and like a resonance. There's something there where, without even words, sometimes Divine Masculine just feels accepted and understood by you. And that's because he is accepted and understood by you, right? Or she. Divine Masculine, as we know, it is a male or a female. It's the negative polarity, and that can be male or female. It's not about gender, it's about energy. But Divine Masculine definitely feels like there is this connection where they feel so understood and safe and comfortable, and they've experienced times where they haven't, and where they've like kind of maybe been too clingy and too needy and had this need for control. But with you, they don't feel that. It's kind of like it just sort of like this veil is lifted for them, and they really are starting to recognize that that's only when they're around you that they're feeling that way. The danger of that is that they could start projecting some of these issues onto you and then trying to hold you a little bit too tightly, or being so afraid of losing you that they don't even want to like get too close. So there could still be a struggle going on inside of Divine Masculine right now, but either way, they know that you are a true source of nirvana for them. In the near future, Divine Masculine is going to see that you are like a teacher for them. You are a source of empathy. You are so accepting and warm and tolerant and forgiving of Divine Masculine. And if you look at this card, what's coming out of this cup is actually what appears to be soul, right? And you've heard us talk on this channel, and you've heard within Twin Flame Circles, of course, that, you know, two bodies, one soul, that the two bodies share the same soul, right? And that's what makes them twin flames. And if you look at this card, you see that the soul is there, you know, fulfilling and filling up the cup for Divine Masculine. And that's how Divine Masculine sees you. You fill Divine Masculine's cup. And it's because you are the positive polarity. You are the twin flame. You are the soul. And so that's why there's this connection with you and Divine Masculine. And you are a leader. You are a leader, a trailblazer for Divine Masculine. And they honestly look up to you. Even if their actions, you know, maybe they have been prideful before, but they see you as that amazing essence, the one that fills the void. And that's what this is showing me in this card. That's pretty cool. That's where this is all leading Divine Masculine right now. There's so much duality on Divine Masculine's karmic side of this reading. It's like with all of these, there's just this duality where Divine Masculine is learning these incredibly valuable lessons, but it's because of this very, very difficult and dark stuff that they've had to go through. And, you know, it's almost like Divine Masculine was asleep to life, right? And then there's just been this kind of awakening that's been taking place through the recognition and the learning that has taken place from all these experiences that have been very dualistic in nature. That has helped Divine Masculine to kind of see with more clarity what's really truly valuable in this life and what's really truly important. That it's not wealth and riches that come from like monetary and material things. It's something that comes far more from the heart, from the soul itself. And would you look at this? This is kind of like the pivotal place that Divine Masculine is reaching with you. Here you are, Divine Feminine, in total balance, total harmony, total peace, just standing there in your power. You know, you've connected yourself back. You know how to fill your own cup. You've got these 2 cups right here, right? And both of them are equally filling up one and the other. You could kind of look at that as you are the soul standing in your own power right there. And the 2 cups are the 2 bodies, right? The two physical forms. And you are there now recognizing, you know, 1 body, 2 hands. I'm not more this hand than I am this hand, right? You are standing there in your power as a soul, recognizing that you're neither physical form. You are the soul that is experiencing them. And, you know, letting go of all that past stuff. And Divine Masculine is seeing you in that light and in that power. And you're seeing yourself in that light and in that power. And all of the delays and the things that made Divine Masculine feel like things were stagnant in their life, that's all just kind of melted away. And like, this is a beautiful, beautiful card. I love the fact that she's in a green dress. Reminds me of the aurora borealis, the emerald lights. There's a lot of significant meaning in that. It's about being, you know, connected to your center, connected to your heart chakra, and knowing who you really, really are. That's pretty special. These 2 cards right here together, I don't know. I think that's pretty amazing. Divine Masculine is recognizing who you are because you've recognized who you are. And wow, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Good work, Divine Feminine. That means you have really, really been doing what you need to do to balance yourself out and to really step into your own harmony, your own power, knowing who you really, really are. What a beautiful, beautiful reading, and one that's well deserved by you. This is not an easy journey that we're on. It really, really isn't. There's so many things that we have to go through, and that's why the tarot, it's such an interesting thing. Again, you guys, these tarot readings, they're only here for you to look at your own perspectives as you're watching it, right? Because it's going to tell you, but you have to look at it from an inner space from within you, because nothing is set in stone. You are the creator, and that's what this is. This whole twin flame journey, that's what's meant to really stand out to you. That's what this reading was about, really, you coming into this knowing of who you really are. And it's a difficult journey. It really is. That's what the tarot deck represents, is the hero's journey, the soul's journey, the awakening process that we have to go through, you know, to achieve our highest version of ourselves, the self-actualization, letting go of fear, stepping into our power, and really bringing into this world what we came here as souls to do. And so if you guys have questions on the twin flame journey, if you guys need, you know, answers, you know, a community of people to talk to, this is a great place to start. Cam and I have some incredible things coming down the pipeline right now. We have Brent, who has joined our team, and, you know, there's just some really good stuff coming. So please like and subscribe our video. We're new, we're building, and the likes and subscribes, they really, really help us a lot right now. And we would be very, very grateful and very appreciative if you did. But yeah, if you guys have questions, we have one-on-ones available in the comments section down below. You can, you know, see the links for that. That's also in the About section on the YouTube page. Also, we have our website listed there. And so you can book one-on-ones. Eventually, we're going to have other ways. I think I'm going to do a live soon. And so, you know, if you're If you've got questions, we would love to do a live to be able to help you maybe get some answers, help you kind of know a little bit more, because this is a very confusing journey, especially if you're just starting out, especially if you've recently gone through or are still in the dark night of the soul. It really is a beautiful experience. I promise you that. Someday you will look back on it and feel nothing but gratitude for it. But when you're in it, oh boy, is it a difficult and an overwhelming and very painful experience, no doubt. All right, let's see. I'm waiting for that spark. Oh, I felt it in a different finger than usual today. Element of air. I am an air sign. Element of air. Here, let me grab my book. Here we go. Look at that. I am a Gemini. I have air element, among other things. We're all a little mixture of everything, right? None of us are the same. We're all very unique, very different. We all have our own little blueprint, and it's ours to discover. Let's see. Element of air. There it is. All right, you guys, let's read this. Let's see. In Wicca, air is typically the first element addressed, beginning in the east. This symbol is the sword of a theme. Its color is yellow. Time of day is sunrise. Season is spring, and it rules the zodiac signs Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. It governs the energies of the planets Jupiter and Mercury. Air represents wisdom and compassion, but it also represents the higher realms of creative consciousness. When it appears in your cards, you are being asked to approach your situation from a place of wisdom and informed thought. Are you allowing yourself to simply jump into situations without thinking about them? Have you allowed yourself to make decisions too quickly? If so, be reminded that the energies of air can be accessed whenever needed and will help in making informed and wise decisions. I think this perfectly goes along with the experience that you are having right now, and kind of bringing divine masculine along with you. Wisdom is definitely something that you have been acquiring, divine feminine, along your path and your journey. Your awakening has just caused you to blossom and open up, and source, God, the universe is just kind of pouring that wisdom into you because you've been an open conduit ready to receive that energy within you. And as a result, divine masculine is really seeing you and experiencing soul from a whole different perspective. This, again, I love that. This reading has just been super, super cool. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. An interesting thing that I just saw, if you look at this card in the beginning, the change that I talked about that was going to be taking place, it looks like the same woman almost right here. This fast change, the quick development that's going on. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Start and finish in a very short period of time. This ascension is taking place, whether the divine masculine likes it, recognizes it, or knows it. It's all you, divine feminine. This is your journey. I love you guys. I will be back soon, and until then, I'm sending you my blessings. Mwah.